Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the cutoff race for your QRL Wednesday night series. This is going from the round of 12 to 8 drivers here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And once again, I am joined by the great Jared Kelly. Jared Kelly, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm not mowing the lawn tonight because we missed last week. You were doing something with your wife, anniversary or something, and I was mowing grass.
That's right.
Seat time is what I call it.
Okay, you had seat time and I had some seat time also, so that's good, Jared. Yeah, we celebrated 14 years of marriage there last Wednesday, so please forgive me, fellas, but yeah, we had a great time. Went out to dinner and went to work the next day, but it's all good as Jared. But big news here on the track here at Charlotte. We've had a bunch of races delayed this week due to weather, but it looks like we've got clear skies here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for what seems to be a big race for these drivers to make it into the round of 8.
Yeah, most importantly for those playoff guys who are in a must-win situation, I think it's Peter Dunn, Brandon Shelton, and Nate Maurer in a must-win here at Charlotte. So it's going to be big for those 3 drivers, but also big for everyone else trying not to make mistakes, get caught up in wrecks, because, I mean, this is QRL. Chaos will ensue.
Yeah, Jared, and just for our listeners at home, our television audience at home, David Owens did win the first race at Darlington, so that means he's in. I am going to have the playoff standings. We're going to try this new points bubble scorer, and that was all provided by AJ Binish. He runs in the truck series for Bonfire Lead, so just big shout out to him for providing that for us, and we're going to try it out tonight, see how it works. So excited for that, Jared. And also the playoff drivers will be highlighted in the tower with a orange block around their name, so keep that in mind. And Jared, we got 115 laps here at Charlotte. What are you thinking? They're going to have at least 3 pit stops tonight, or 2? Maybe 2 if it's long green flag runs.
I believe it's going to be 2 pit stops today here, Kevin. I did my math, did my research. They've got 13.7 gallons of fuel in this tank. We are on a limited fuel run, and it's about 0.3 of a gallon per lap. So I'm estimating the maximum fuel run is going to be 4 to 5 laps, but fuel window will open at lap 38.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, our new technology here in the right-hand side of the screen. We're trying it out. You can leave comments if it doesn't look good or we need it in a different spot, but it looks like, so remember, David Owens gave himself an extra couple points there, so we know he's won and he's in, so keep your eyes on that cut line. Joseph Volpis is on the cut line. He's going to be battling out against Mitch Diamond, and there's a 4-point difference there between him. Nathan Maurer missed 2 of the first playoff race, if that's correct there, Jared. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if Nathan did race in Chicagoland, I believe, right?
That's a very good question.
We both don't know. I think he did. I think I looked and he did. So it's going to be a huge battle here to see what happens. So sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back, relax on this Wednesday night. We are proud to bring you this race in action here. CAVOK Racing Network. Me and Jared, once again, glad that you guys have joined us here on this Wednesday night. We wouldn't have it any other way for this cutoff race. So as we get situated here, just lean back, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds.
Yeah, pace car lights are off coming out of turn number 4. We're going to hit that Geico restart zone there in the middle of the quad oval. Peter Dunn on pole, David Owens on the outside. 2 playoff drivers fighting to get it done. Hitting the restart zone. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Let's go racing to get into the next round of the playoffs.
Beautiful job there, Jared. I could have said any better. They're almost 3 wide and in turn 1 already. The aggression is at all-time intensity here at Charlotte, just like we saw in the NASCAR Cup race here on Monday. But that's great racing. 2x2 they go right now. There's Richards in the 99. These are all playoff drivers battling out in the top 4, top 8 right now spots.
Yeah, I really thought that top lane was going to prevail there. Out of 2, David Owens getting here. He gets sideways.
Oh, David Owens is sideways in pit road, going into the turf. Oh my God, all the humanity. David Owens just barely misses the pit crew of the number 7 team, and there is no yellow out. Race control had missed that. David Owens does a head-on collision into the pit wall. Unbelievable. As a race. Oh, the 14 of Peter Dunn also down on the apron.
Yeah, he got sideways there, I think. or he might be coming to pit road, maybe a penalty of some sorts. Yeah, he's going to bring it down to pit road, probably a penalty.
Great call there, Jared, of eyeing that out. But already the drama unfolding here early. Well, David Owens has won and he's in. So he's really out there, you know, letting the wind blowing his hair out there in the track. Maybe he wanted to call it early. And I'm not sure, but we got great racing out here on the track. Big battle here with Tykilla and the 971 on Knight Maurer, Brandon Shelton, Matt Oppinger, all in a huge pack crossing that start-finish line.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive draft pack, trying to stay in that dirty air on the straightaways, but try and get out of it in the corners so that you don't get aero tight. These cars are aero sensitive. Inside the corners get really tight and may scrape up to the outside wall. Really hope they avoid that tonight, but it's part of racing, as Tykilla is going to try and go on the outside of Nate Maurer. Use up a little bit of Goodyear rubber on that one. But now watch this battle, too wide for this position. It's going to stack up the whole field behind him, slow this whole row down. It's really important when you go too wide with someone, you clear them and you clear them fast, or else you're going to create this huge draft train like if it was Formula One at Monaco.
And that's the battle between Tykilla and Nate Maurer there, correct, Jared?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do see it now. They are stacked up 2 by 2 all the way back there, Jared. Great call on that, as looks like Nate Maurer and Tykilla are going to get that single file, and the rest of the field behind them are going to follow in suit, as we are only lap 6 out of this 115-lap race. Oh, someone's up in the wall. Looks like Matt's up in the wall with Brandon Sally behind him.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Out of 2, you can slide up to that outside wall. Luckily, the composite body, it's not like those steel bodies where it creates this dent and you come tight for the rest of the race. Luckily, it pops back into place and you can keep going and have a competitive race car for the end of the race. But Joe Volp is giving a break to Matt Opplinger there. You saw him get real close to that rear bumper there, too.
Yeah, great call there, Jared. And now there is the 98 of Volpus now looking underneath it, Brandon.
How about this 21 car, Buddy Sally, working? He's a working man. Hasn't been able to race much this season, but he's a fast race car driver here in the QRL. It's great seeing him make an appearance from getting free from work to come out here and race with us tonight. That's a bad fast O'Reilly's paint scheme.
Auto Parts. Ow! Hey, that's a big shout out to O'Reilly Auto Parts for sponsoring the CAVOK Network. And there's Dave Kirkpatrick on the inside, bringing it on in on the low side, as Buddy Sally's going to try to use that high line to his advantage.
Back up front, new leader, number 15 of Alex McCorder, made the pass on Robert Richards, but they're going to be racing side by side. They're going through turns 2. Going to settle out. Alex McCorder has a car length and a half lead on Robert Richards.
Yeah, good looking car there by the Richards in that purple and black Red Bull car.
I know one guy who will like that.
Also, Jared, did you notice there's a wild Pim Luke out there in the field tonight?
You know, there is, in this 033 car. He's out here running with a beautiful black rifle coffee paint scheme.
Yeah, it looks like the front end of that car is already a little beat up there. We're going to have to investigate later and see what caused that damage, as Pim Luke looks like he's settling in here right behind Richards. What's this? Richard Swingle. Oh, I like that old Richard Swingle.
Yeah, Pim raced yesterday in the Bonfire Truck Series. Got a little bit of seat time here at Charlotte. But you gotta remember, this car has way more horsepower than those trucks do. So it's a handful for old Pim here. And luckily, he's still going left. And hopefully when he does come down pit road, he doesn't overshoot his pit box.
Huge battle here back in P9 through 10. Cars are just bunching up. That's Fred Lesser in the 16 and that Fox body right there. Camaro, Oppinger behind him, Neil, Nathan Maurer, Brandon Shelton, all just traffic jammed up here at Charlotte. All Right,
Yeah.
yep, and then Jared on that cut line. Looks like Joseph taking a quick look at that. Joseph's up 7 points now over Mitch Diamond. Mowers gained about 6 points, and Peter Dunn's dropped back 33 points right now.
Yeah, Joe Volpes running 13th, but 3 cars behind him is the 65 of Mitch Diamond, who is in this race.
Looks like he's definitely saving his tires there. Jared kind of seeing his pace and how far he's falling behind. I'm sure Mitch has got a strategy in mind here for the night.
Yeah, Mitch, a great race car driver, even better league admin for the Friday Night Beer League. Very unique concept with the draft there for that league for the Cup Series. Looking forward to running that Friday nights.
Ty Killa right now not holding up, but leading that huge train. And that's from P5 backwards as we take a look at all these drivers.
See, now this is where kind of dirt racing comes into play. You see that 2-car Brandon Schoen. Ty Killa goes high, Brandon goes low. But the thing with these cars is you got to find that clean air in the corners to get a run. If you stay behind the car in front of you, you're just going to get a whole bunch of dirty air on that front nose, and you're going to be planted, not able to go anywhere, and you're going to be forced to go up the racetrack on the exit of the corner just due to that dirty air. What Brandon's doing right now is trying to find that clean air, trying to find a lane that he can run to try and get this run as he closed in on the gap of Ty Killa.
And Jared's all about trying to get that run off the corner exit and getting that draft down the front and back stretches. He's trying to make it stick underneath Ty Killa right now. And
yeah, Ty Killa's going to stay high, though, but he's going to get the run off the corner. But it looks like this draft that's right behind Brandon is just going to scoot on by. Choo-choo, see you later, 24.
Ty Killa switching up to the Burger King Midnight Paint Scheme. Very nicely done touch. I think I like that paint job a little more than an anime. I'm not sure. Still working on that. But, all right, take a look at our leaders right now. That's Alex McCord and Robert Richards battling out. They're still side by side. Have not left each other. They're still battling out. No one's really shown any extra speed. And there's Scotty Estep he had a great season. Didn't make the playoffs, but was always involved in the races at the end. Always a contender. Right behind him, though, Jonathan Wright, newcomer to QRL this season, I believe. Oh, is the 15 ounce of course getting loose? Is he going to be able to save it? He does. That's an amazing job there by Alex. Almost lost control of that. Number 15, Chevy Camaro. Is that Scotty? That stuff gets it out or Stanford barrier wall also. Cars are getting loose all over the place. This is interesting at Charlotte. It must be something in the water out here.
Yeah, we are 18 laps coming to 19 laps into this run. 20 more laps-ish when the fuel window will open to make it to the end of this race. But tire wear already taking effect. We saw Alex McCord get that early lead, maybe used up a little too much of his stuff there trying to make the pass as he's got a little bit of passenger side damage, but that's all character for these race cars.
All right, Doug Neal passes. Looks like Ty Killa might be falling off a little bit there with his tires. We're not sure, but he is starting to fall back in the pack. But there's Dave Kirkpatrick further in the background battling out with Mitch Diamond as he gets a little loose coming down the backstretch here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it's really hard to make that pass there on the bottom. You can't get up on an out of exit to carry the momentum, but looks like Joe Volpes trying to find a way around these guys.
Yeah, Joe's going to have his hands full debating if he should go 3 wide or not, but he thinks better as he's waiting to see who succeeds here on this pass. But Mitch Diamond's still not able to get by Dave Kirkpatrick on that higher line. It's carrying a little more momentum right now at this time of day.
Yeah, what Joe needs to focus on is to stay close to that 65 car. The more spots that get in between Joe and that 65 car towards the 65's favor, that's going to be huge playoff implications on making it to the end of this run. They're 3 points separating these two.
Oh, Joseph gets a huge run. That's a let off before he gets in the back of Mitch Diamond there, Jared. Joseph's got the better line right now, better car. Just needs to get around these guys' traffic that's holding them up.
Yeah, 2 points now separating. That's 2 cars separating these two in the playoffs from being tied. And at the end of the playoffs, if these two are tied, it goes to whoever has the most wins.
Battle. Brandon Shelton battling out by Nate Maurer side by side. Brandon's got the high line, lets him go. Gonna dive back, try to block the 16. And that's Fred Lester. Made a great run there in a couple of races before the playoffs started. Fred Lester, newcomer this season. Great to see him out there as it's starting to heat up here between Doug Neal. Doug Neal's looking for a way around old Fred Lester.
Coming up on the lap car, the 32. I believe that is Steven Brian. Gonna force these guys to run the low lane, try to get around him. Seeing a lot more confidence within this 32 car. Usually he just kind of lets off the throttle and lets these guys go. He's gonna be like, nah, if you want to get around me, you go, oh, the 77 gets loose on the bottom, slides up into the outside wall.
Oh, and he gets loose again, Jared. 18 gets loose, gets into the wall. Is that going to throw a caution? Yes, it is, Jared. Our first caution of the night. Great call on that, Jared. I'm going to rewind that beautiful bean footage. Take a look at what exactly transpired there with Doug Neal. Looks like he just got loose. Definitely coming down to the apron. And it's his way back up the apron is when he gets loose and comes back into the traffic.
Oh. Yeah, and he hits the 65, and the 65 gets into the outside wall. That's definitely going to be a little bit of damage for that 65 car. Just clips him and puts him into the outside wall.
Oh, and there comes Mitch. Oh, there's the hit. Terry Murphy takes a hard hit. Let's take a look here at Mitch. Yeah, Jared, he's going to have front right damage. Might have slapped that rear end there a little too hard also, but looks like he's going to be okay, hopefully, there for Mitch Diamond. Terry Murphy also involved in that, but he is not a playoff eligible driver. So not that we don't care about you, Terry, but the focus is definitely on that 65 car, Mitch Diamond. Let's take another look at that from Mitch Diamond's point of view.
Cars are now making their way down pit road.
Onboard look here with Mitch Diamond. Kind of take a look at what he saw as he tried to miss Doug Neal. Just gets clipped into that right side wall. But it doesn't seem like it's too much damage. We go back live, Jared. We're going to take a look at these pit stops taking place.
Yeah, everyone coming in for 4 fresh Goodyear rubbers. Gonna be a race off pit road. As it looks like, who is that? I think that's Peter Dunn. He's going to get to his first pit stall. Robert Richards out first with a race between Scotty Eastep and Jonathan Wright for P2. And single file there as everyone else comes out.
All right.
And it looks like the 32 will get the wave around.
All right, so Steve's going to get that wave around. Mitch still there getting repairs. It's still a long way to go in this race. I mean, not super long. We're almost a quarter of the way through the race there, Jared, but definitely want to take the time to get that damage repaired, as we see a lot of cars in right now that were involved in either earlier incidents or the one we just saw. Here's Jake O'Shea right now getting some damage repaired. Also Pim Luth trying to get that front end of that Chevy Camaro pulled out, and they're off out of pit lane. But it looks like Mitch Diamond's going to be. Is he going to get? Where's that pace car right now, Jared?
Pace car is turn 4 right now.
All right, and there comes Richards. Is he going to make it out in time?
And he is leaving pit road right now, but he's got to make sure that pit road doesn't close. It looks like that green light is still on, and he is good.
Just by the hair of his chin, Jared. Wow, that was a close call. It's like he's done that before, old Mitch Diamond. All right, let's take a quick rundown, Jared, of our playoff drivers at the moment. So we got Robert Richards. He is going to be your number one, sitting number 1 right now. And then we got Jonathan Wright. He's sitting in P3 at this moment. There we go. And I'd like to have this to show up also as we talk about the drivers. Oh, technology. All right, Nate Maurer. There's the 971. He is 13 points back. Jared, it's almost like he's going to have to win this race to get into this playoff, like he's mentioned earlier. Great call on that. That is what it's looking like, it's shaping up to be, unless there is some more shake-ups in this race tonight. Next playoff driver on my radar is going to be Brandon Shelton. He's running P6 right now. Ty Killa right behind him in the 24 car. Matt Oppinger is going to be P9. And Joseph Vulpes is going to be P10, running right behind Matt. And then what else we got here? Who else is out here that I'm missing? Okay, Peter Dunn. Well, Sam Milliken, or no, Otterbach Sam Milliken running P12 right now. Peter Dunn going to be running P14. Mitch Diamond. Or Anthony, Anthony didn't make it. I thought Anthony was in there. No. Sorry, Anthony. Alex McCord running P15. Mitch Diamond going to be running P20. David Owens, we saw him in that earlier incident. He is a couple laps back right now. And Doug Neal also might be hurt, maybe damaged that car a little bit too much, but we'll have to see as we get back to live racing and everything cycles back out. But huge shout out there to AJ. This thing is working beautifully. I really appreciate that, AJ, once again. Even I was able to figure it out, so thank you very much for that.
Yeah, technology at its finest.
It really is, Jared. It really is. Do you see Doug Neal out there in the 77 car?
I do not, but let me look here. Doug Neal, client has manually disconnected. So he has taken his car to the garage and he's going to be out of this race.
Okay, thank you, Jared, for that update from Pit Row. Jared, once again, you're doing a great job. You run up here in the booth and down a pit road. It's amazing how you do that, Jared. But we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Hopefully we're going to have a long run here. What do you think, Jared? Or is this going to bring out more cautions?
Well, if I know one thing from old DW, cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, Jared, I got a sneaky suspicion about this, but let's see what happens as they hit that Geico restart line, and Richard gets him off strong. Scotty S-Step's going to get pushed by Nate Maurer from behind. Nate's like, we got to get this show on the road. But as they take off by the condos there in turn one, Scotty and the 16, Fred battling out side by side. They're going to get that straight. Now here comes Nate Maurer down on the inside. Going to follow that 16, see him bring up any positions off this restart. Oh, 4 and 16 are going to get door by door. They save it, no problems. That could have had huge implications on the field there, Jared, if that could have turned bad.
Yeah, would have landed right in the lap with Scotty Estep and everyone running that top lane.
Got some great side-by-side action there with Sam Milliken and Peter Dunn in that 14 Canadian Tire car.
Almost 3 wide. Peter Dunn trying to squeeze in the middle. He is looking for an opening to take. Oh, 15 goes around. Sideways goes 15 of Alex McCord. He saves it.
Did he get in the wall with the rear end there, Jared? I missed that.
No, he just got a little tight there. Someone gave him a little bit of a bumper. He got real loose there and eventually just got sideways and got down on the apron.
All right, so that's our leader right now, Robert Richards, Jonathan Wright, Scotty SF. Bring up your top 3, but there's Nate Maurer looking. He's lurking there in P4, just waiting for his chance, but not to be outdone by Brandon Shelton. Also looking for that win. We're going to have to keep an eye on these 2 cars, Jared, as the race continues, because both these drivers are probably going to need a win to get in.
Yeah, they are fighting for everything. Nate being in the Final 4 last season against Joey Stiers, who's not in this race today, not eligible for the playoffs and didn't get in, so he is not racing tonight for the championship. But Nate Maurer was real close, just a restart away from getting this title here at QRL.
That's right, Jared. Great memory there you have as Brandon Shelton takes the outside line against Man Maurer. Going to try to make that stick. Dave Kirkpatrick following in tow. Going to get the door shut on him there by Maurer. He doesn't want to give up that spot. But Richards out to almost a 1.5 second lead over the field right now. It's Joseph Fulpus and Terry Murphy go, Peter Dunn, I'm sorry, go side by side out of turn 3.
Mitch Diamond trying to come back from that outside wall contact that was brought out that last caution with Doug Neal. He is now 6 points under the cut line against Alex McCorder, who had that slide in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and Mitch Diamond stays doesn't look that bad, Jared. He only needs 6 more spots to get into that playoff bubble as of now, and he's only in P19, so lots of room to improve during this race, and only time will tell. But keep an eye on all these stories starting to unfold, Jared. That's what I love about NASCAR racing. Is all the stories unfolding as the race goes on and people to keep an eye on. Drama at every turn here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we're going on lap 37 out of 115 to make it into the round of 8. All right, things heating up here between Dave Kirkpatrick, Scotty Estep, and the 16 of Fred Lester. Fred Lester, Scotty Estep side by side here coming through the dog leg on the front stretch, coming across start finish line. Peter Dunn also in tow and Joseph Fulpus. Lots of playoff drivers right here in this tight pack.
Yeah, Peter Dunn running in that 8th position. Really strong run. Started on pole. That's a bonus point, so that goes to 1 point. It's not counted in our live scoring here, but definitely could make it in on points. Is only 14 points behind Alex McCorder, but definitely has a shot still to make it in on points without getting that win, but he is going to need a miracle to happen.
Hey Jared, just give me a second here. I'm trying to try to add something into our program in here. I know I didn't have Sam Milliken highlighted here for our playoff drivers on the left side. OCD. I don't want to be like, Sam's like, I'm the only one that's not highlighted as a playoff driver. Don't worry, Sam, I'm here for you. But that's lap 40 right now. As these laps are counting down with these green flag runs. This is battle right now. Seems like they're starting to get a little bit spread out. Looks like Fred Lester and this group though are the tightest pack we have at the moment. Like Mitch Diamond's now minus 8 points on that cutoff line. Still running P19. Alex McCorder though running P21. Wow, Alex has the advantage over Mitch Diamond, Jared. As this time he has more cars to pass and he's already at P21. An 8-point lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think with Mitch Diamond, he doesn't have the speed within his race car at the moment to be fighting and getting up into position. Still a little bit of damage, I think, causing him to run a little bit slower than he wants to.
Yeah, Jared, that's got to be frustrating knowing kind of got the car hurt there, not from your own doing, and all you can kind of do is just sit back and keep the car as clean as you can, and hopefully the race comes to you. But definitely an unfortunate event there for old Mitch Diamond. This battle between Fred Lester and Peter Dunday are side by side still, Jared. Who is going to give an inch, but no one's giving each other any room there as they almost touch coming into turn 1.
Yeah, so I crew chief for Dennis Puckett Series admin for the Bonfire Racing League for the Coke 600 here at Charlotte. And one thing I learned is if you are on the door to the car in front of you in the front straightaway, you definitely have an advantage going into turn one, trying to get ahead of the car, pull a little bit of a slide job, use a little bit of extra rubber. But if you're behind that car entering the corner, there's no way you're going to be able to make the pass. So, for example, Joe Volpez was side-by-side with the 9 car. Anthony Moss Jr. unfortunately had a little bit of bobble there on the apron, wasn't able to capitalize on his run. But it's all about track position here at Charlotte. Very hard to make positions, make passes. The only way I think you can make a pass cleanly is pit strategy.
And Jared, just to keep an update, looks like Nate Maurer and Brandon Shelton moved up the spot. They both were able to pass Dave Kirkpatrick, so Nate Maurer now P3 and Brandon Shelton P4 as they make their march up to the front, for that, trying to get that win to get themselves into the playoffs for round 2.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to strategy. I kind of did the math earlier. Pitting around, I believe it was lap 60, doing the math here, or 71, lap 71.
Is that what I
You
can
would
spell,
have,
Jared?
yeah, so lap 71, I think if you can make it to lap 71 on fuel, you are good to the end by a lap. You have a margin of 1 lap in your tank. So you're not good for if overtime event were to come out, but it's going to be interesting to see as we get close to the halfway point of this run. 3 more laps and we'll be halfway on this fuel tank. But that's when we start to see the tires wear and incidents start happening.
It's awesome to see these lines kind of how like the Cup Series played out, Jared. There's almost 3 grooves. You could take either the high, medium, middle, or low lines here at Charlotte. Just kind of how you prefer to drive the track.
And I was kind of looking over at the times. Jonathan Wright in the 04 running in P2. He was 2/10 faster than our leader, Robert Richards, that last lap and the lap before that. So definitely a little bit extra rubber there on the Jonathan Wright's Xfinity car.
Yeah, Jared, and these two are well within making it into the next round. If they are able to just finish the race, basically, there had to be a complete catastrophe for anything to jeopardize these drivers, but I think they're pretty much locked in. No, not necessarily. We've got a lot of drivers here tonight, but 2 of them are out already. Just one that is out right now. Terry Murphy just came back out of the pits. But, we're almost at the halfway point, lap 50 at the line here. And Richard's lead from that second half is now dwindled to under a second as Jonathan Wright has made his way.
Oh, spinner front straightaway, big wreck. Anthony Moss flipping up and over.
Holy
Joe Volpez
cow.
involved. Brandon Shelton involved as well. Grant McGivern as more slide into the mix. Terry Murphy.
Through. Did they not see the yellow flag? Oh, the humanity, Jared. Oh, as the 903 backs that ass up in turn 1. Oh, the 77 just comes flying by, too. What is going on here? Holy cow. All right, Jared, I'm going to have to collect my thoughts and get us the replay of this race, but what did it look like? It started what number there?
I heard the tires squealing when I was watching the replay, and it's going to be interesting to see. Let's see here. I'm on board with the 98, and it looks like somebody gets into the outside wall, hitting the tri-oval, and it looks like Brandon Shelton's pancakes the wall out of 4 and just rides the wall and comes back down, hitting the 16 and the 14 of Peter Dunn. 16 coming back up on track, up and over Anthony Moss Jr. and collects the rest of the field coming at full speed.
Unbelievable, Jared. So you're saying that the number 2 car might have started this whole incident?
I am saying that.
Okay. All right, we're taking a look here from our blimp, Goodyear blimp. Taking a look at the number 2 of Brandon Shelton. Yes, Jared, there he goes. He's getting a little loose, pushing tight into that outside wall, and then this is where it all starts happening, where it starts to go wrong. Oh my. Cars just flying everywhere right now.
Now watch that 16 car of
Lester.
go sliding up the racetrack, and you're gonna see Joe Volpis or Anthony Moss hit him, and up and over that race car goes.
Oh my God. Is this family here tonight? I think Anthony Moss Jr. said his wife was here with his kids to watch the race. Hopefully they didn't see that horrible accident. There's a 33 sliding it sideways. Actually doesn't get through. Oh, takes quite a bit of hit there. And then here comes Buddy Sally in, but I think there's a car coming in from the top rope, Jared. If we if we keep watching this replay. Okay, there's Alex McCorder coming, sliding on through. 903 coming in hot. Oh man, 33 through. Wow, lots of implications there. Brandon Shelton definitely that's the end of his day.
Yeah, Peter Dunn disconnected. Terry Murphy also out of this race. So playoff runs over for Peter Dunn and Brandon Shelton due to that last incident, and now Joe Volpis sitting 3 points below the cut line after being involved in that incident.
Unbelievable turn of events here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jared, thank you for breaking that down with me. Man, it's great to have 2 set of eyes on that. It really takes a great team, just like an Ally, Jared. As we're happy to be sponsored here by Ally Financial. Always great to have an ally in your corner. Jared, you're my ally.
Well, I do have good words about Ally. I don't mean to flex here, but I was a VIP from Ally, getting up to be in the Rolex suites at Daytona last season for the cutoff race into the playoffs, where Austin Dillon snuck through the big one when it started raining in turns 1 and 2. That is a moment I will never forget. Sat down on pit road for the start of the Cup race and the rest of the Xfinity race. And I have to say there, Kevin, I would rather watch a race down on pit road where I can only see the front straightaway than sit up in the grandstands where I can see the whole track.
Yeah, Jared, that's an amazing story. You're definitely going to have to tell me more about that later on. But I've always been a guy that likes to get down as close as I can to the cars. So if a tire was to fly off, maybe I could get lucky to catch
You
it.
would want a face full of that.
Speaking of tires flying off, holy shit, did you guys see that Indianapolis 500 tire? That could have been terrible. That could have been terrible. That was crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, and they're supposed to have a wheel tether, and for those that don't know what a wheel tether is, it's like a very strong wire, kind of like a safety harness when you go zip lining, that actually attaches to the hub of the tire, so if that wheel were to come off, it would stay attached to the chassis itself. Unfortunately, that tire or that tether broke off within that contact, and I'm pretty sure IndyCar R&D development is taking a look at that, gotten that car to their R&D center, is going through very thorough research to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, Jared, it's pretty amazing everything that goes into these race cars and series, and man, we're just lucky enough to have this game that we're able to play where everyone stays safe, because definitely would have a couple fatalities here at the QRL. It was not a video game. But getting back to the racing at hand, Jared, I think we're gonna crank it up here off the restart and get some of these good live shots here as this pace car gets ready to take him down to the start finish line, Geico restart line.
All righty, Kevin, I'll let you take it away here.
All right, boys, just remember, so we got Joseph Vulpes there, Nate Mowers looking for the win and in. Vulpes is just looking to pick up some more spots, had a little bit of damage, but that pace car's coming off as we get ready to crank it up here on the QRL. just over a second lead again over Jonathan Wright. Jonathan Wright showing what he's made out of this season. What a great, strong rookie season for Jonathan Wright.
Yeah, has a lot of speed in these Xfinity cars. I raced with Bristol, and he was real fast there Thursday night, later in the evening for Friday night beer league. But on Thursday night, they run the Xfinity and trucks, and he was fast all night long. I could not find speed in my Xfinity car, so I have no idea how he's getting that speed through that race car, especially at Bristol. But yeah, really good race car driver.
Hey, so Jared, just to get caught up on what exactly is happening, so Joseph Wolfus is a lap down. He's 5 points behind the cut line. Mitch Diamond has damage to that vehicle. It has seemed to keep it on the lead lap, running P8 at this time. So Mitch Diamond is in the driver's seat right now over Joseph Wolfus. Joseph Wolfus has a chance. I mean, anything can happen. Another car gets out. It's in the bubble. He can make his way in, so just another story to keep pace of. And Nate Maurer, looks like he's going to have to win to get in here, as he's in third place and still 11 points back of getting in. So Jared, he's definitely looking for that podium, that #1 spot to get his ticket into the next round.
Yeah, and I think on Mitch Diamond, his team was able to put enough bear bonds on the nose of that race car and on the rear to make competitive lap times. I'm looking over, he ran a 30.9 last lap, while the leader ran a 31.2. So definitely has competitive speed within that race car, and is trying to do everything he can to stay in this playoff hunt.
Yeah, it seems like if he can just keep the car facing the right way out of the wall and out of trouble, we should have this thing wrapped up. But can't say it too soon, as we're not even. Oh, we are halfway, a little over halfway through this race. So Alex McCorder looks like he understands he's locked in, not trying to make some moves that he doesn't need to make.
Yeah, and going off of the data, when that last caution came out, when they came down pit road, and race pace, these drivers are going to be 16 laps short on fuel, making it to lap 99 on their fuel tanks at the latest. So definitely another pit stop in the books. But knowing these drivers, it looks like every 25 laps, something seems to happen. Handling of these race cars go away. So watch for that when we approach lap 75. Who knows, maybe another yellow will come out due to handling of these race cars.
Yeah, well said, Jared. It does seem like you hit on a great note there of the handling. It seems like when they start getting loose and worn out, pushing hard, seems like that's when the cautions start to come out.
How about that car in the 12th position there? Looks like to me a 033 car.
Yeah, I don't think the 033 car got the memo on double digits in NASCAR. I think he still might be racing some type of European league there, Jared, but I am very impressed with that 033 car, Pim Luth. He is the brains and heart behind this whole CAVOK Racing Network, and he's the one to help me get this all dialed in there, Jared, and definitely a great friend and fellow broadcaster. But it's great to see him running so well in this hard-to-drive car, one of the hardest cars to drive on the service.
I think you saying he's driving this car well is said a little too early. We still got this race left to go, and he still needs to make a green flag pit stop too. So if he can get a green flag pit stop down, I think we might have an oval driver here on our hands.
Yeah, that's a Big Ten Ford, Jared, as he gets a little loose, goes up the racetrack and run that high line, as Matt Alpender is going to take that low line away, as they're going to come side by side through the front stretch here. Drag race to the start-finish line. All right, might have a change of the position up front there, though, Jared.
Yeah, I see it. The gap now closing down. Robert Richards trying to get on that white and blue line, trying to get a little grip there on the paint. He's going to squeeze Jonathan Wright down in the dog leg.
Yeah, Jonathan Wright tried to fill that gap, but Richards gave him a little, pinched it off just a little bit there as Wright backs out, but now Wright's got the run on the inside line. Let's see who will succeed here as, oh, baby. They almost get door to door there. And they are door to door coming in out of turn 2. Turn 4, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Robert Richards really squeezing down the 04 car of Jonathan Wright. Jonathan trying to get a run here, coming to the back straightaway, going to do another side draft there, try and get to the quarter panel of this 99 car. But Nate Maurer charging, trying to get this lead and get control of this race. Crossover.
Yeah, you see Richards trimming some of that turf off of the infield. And a great point by the Clint Boyer and the boys on Monday that they did replace Charlotte. That used to be grass, and now it is all AstroTurf. So a little bit friendlier to drive through that.
And Robert Richards losing positions now, getting in that dirty air. It's a new feeling in his race car that he hasn't felt most of the race, being in that dirty air. So it's going to take a little bit to get acclimated to that new handling, that dirty air. As you see his car plow tight up the racetrack.
Now, if I was any of these other playoff drivers, I would be doing everything I could in my power to not let the 971 get in the lead and get the win today, because I do not want to race against this guy in the next playoff rounds.
Well, luckily for Mitch Diamond, who's on that bubble, if Nate was to get the win and get knocked out of the playoffs, his teammate, the 04 car, Jonathan Wright, leading this race. So little team orders might be going on. Letting Jonathan Wright know you got to win this race and not let the 971 of Nate Maurer by.
Hey, Jared, way to point that out. I didn't even think about that, because you're right. If Nathan Maurer gets the win, it's going to basically knock out Mitch Diamond, even though he's in the green right now. It would knock him out.
Or if Mitch Diamond had to, he has to gain 3 positions to get in front of Ty Keela, and that would put Ty Keela at the cut line.
Oh, man. Speaking of Ty Keela, let's take a quick look on what's happening with Ty Keela. Oh, I don't know, Jared. Is he saving tires, or is he having issues with that Toyota Supra right now?
Yeah, I think he's having issues. Last lap, he ran a 32.9 while the leaders were running a 31.7 and a 31.5. So I think he's got tires, a big issue on his mind as we are approaching lap 75 at the window where the handling of these race cars get 10 times harder.
All right, and Maurer's on full attack mode now against Wright as he has closed the distance and now is looking to make that pass, but that 04 might be tough to pass, Jared, just like you're saying. Might have some team orders in place to do everything you can to make it as tough as possible on Maurer.
Yeah, and 25 laps left on this tank of fuel. So reaching the halfway point of their fuel run, this is where we usually start to see some chaos as Nate Maurer tries to back up the corner, get a run out of the corner. A little dirt trick there, slow in, fast out.
And Joseph
trying to get the run.
And speaking of other playoff drivers that are trying to make it in, Joseph's probably just praying for a caution to get that yellow dog to get him back onto the lead lap to have him get a chance at this finish.
Mitch Diamond battling Scotty Eastep for position. And if he loses that spot, it's going to close the gap between him and Joe Volpes to 1 point to 4 points.
Car in the infield. Alex McWhorter goes on the infield, spins it out on the bar turn 1, heads into the inner barrier wall. And
yeah, you don't want yellow comes out though.
Oh, Joseph Vulpes is praising. It's gonna buy Alex McWhorter. McWhorter. Of course, it's trying to make a McDonald's joke. Didn't not work. Got to work on that one there with old McWhorter. But yeah, Jared, huge implications now. This is definitely gonna mix it up. Thank you. All right, let's take a look here at Alex McWhorter and exactly what caused him to get loose there. As we're going to take a bigger look from the top down, we're going to rewind it a little bit, see exactly what caused that incident there for old Alex McWhorter. Oh, he gets in touch with the 17. Looks like Dave Kirkpatrick might have gotten the wall there a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's exactly how you called it. Sam Milliken, the 17, made contact, shoved Alex McWhorter into the outside wall, and that wall just spat out Alex McWhorter and sent him to the infield sliding. Unfortunately, he couldn't be like his most favorite dirt driver, Jared Kelly, and collect that car and get that car sideways and put your foot to the floor.
You know,
But
Sam is very lucky he did not get hooked. But we got pit stops. The whole field is coming in. I don't know, Jared. That looks like a red light on that pit lane. I don't know. It looked like it was almost closed.
yeah, it looks closed a little bit to me as well, but I don't complain.
No, you've never been one to complain.
Never. But we don't need to talk about what happens on Sunday mornings inside the team. We don't need to talk about that. Oh, and Jonathan Wright going to stay out in front of Nate Maurer as a race off pit road.
That's huge, Jared. That is huge. We've seen it all the time in the Cup Series. Is which line's going to... So if he starts, will he start on the outside line or inside as the leader?
That is a very good question. I don't have the answer to.
Okay. I think you can choose in this series, but I'm not sure if the drivers do that a lot or if anyone knows.
Well, I don't really know which lane is the preferred lane. I mean, I guess there could be a preferred lane for the leaders for wanting to, I guess, or the cars behind wanting to be in the line that takes off first.
Okay, Jared, we got a situation. Sorry to interrupt you, Jared, but since old Joseph got there up on the lead lap, I mean, we got to see how things cycle out, but it almost looks like a dead heat there between Joseph Vulpes and Mitch Diamond right now. They get on the bubble, but that's all if Nate Maurer can stay. If Nate Maurer stays in second or does not win the race, and that is something to keep an eye on. But if Nate Maurer was able to punch his way into this, oh, there we go. Mitch Diamond's up 8 points, but now Joseph is on that lead lap, I believe.
Yeah, Joe is now 8 points out of the cut line, and Nate Maurer 13.
And Joseph's gonna be starting on the end of the last line, so he's got a lot of work to do, but has enough time. He's got 35 laps, I believe, and then. Jared, are they going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race?
Well, looking at Joe pitting here on lap 80, he is going to have enough fuel, 125, so he did have 10 laps extra on fuel.
Okay.
But it looks here, as I see everybody else, lap 79 is when they left pit road. Yeah, they're going to have enough fuel till the end. So everyone good on fuel. But as we know, I'm looking over at my pit strategy overlay, and the first caution came out after 25 laps. The second caution came out after 26 laps. And now that last caution we have, the third caution of the race, came after 27 laps. So 28 laps in, when we go back green, could we see another yellow?
I think Alex is now showing Alex and Mitch fighting it out. It's going to be interesting because I have a feeling I'll be very impressed if Wright can hold off Maurer. I'll be very impressed. Maurer has to do everything he can to get that win. But, man, that battle, though, between Ty Killa, Mitch Diamond, and Alex McWhorter is going to be interesting. Ty Killa seems like he might be in a hurt car. So just all these things to keep an eye on here as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing here as the cars come out of turn 2 down the backstretch here at Charlotte.
Yeah, and Nate and Jonathan Wright talking over the radios. Nate asking if Jonathan was in a must-win situation, and Jonathan replied no, and Nate goes, okay, I understand. So who knows what's going on there? Maybe sizing up your competition.
But if Jonathan's only up 20 points, and let's say he was to get wrecked. No.
Well, seeing as there are 5 drivers out of this race,
It's gonna be tight.
and he would basically, or 20, I'm seeing the top 20 or the last 20 drivers.
Jared, save it for later because these guys are about to hit the Geico restart line as Jonathan Wright's going to lead them into there. Away he goes like a rocket. Going across that start-finish line, Nate Maurer right behind, but don't look now. But Dave Kirkpatrick says, I might not be in the playoff race, but I sure went that Coca-Cola vending machine as Wright leads them down the backstretch with lap 82 in the books. Them getting awfully tight back there with the Grant McRiven and Ty Killa. There's Robert Richards battling out Ty Killa, but there's Ty Killa dropping like a brick.
Yeah, nothing really Ty Killa would want to see there. Plus 12 on the bubble. As we see Robert Richards there fighting his way back up through the field, trying to get up to that top spot.
No, Jared, there's an awful lot of race cars in a tight little spot here as there goes the 99 going down low underneath Graham.
Well, if you look at the top of the timing tower, I believe that's a triple digit 971 on the top of the tower. He is controlling this race and trying to race his way in to the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, he did take that slide. Oh, look, there goes Nate Kirkpatrick on the outside with a huge run. That's definitely going to slow down the 04 Jonathan Wright as that's going to take away his exit. But can anything stop Nate Maurer now that he's got that clean, fresh air and a clean-looking race car to boot?
Yeah, Jonathan Wright really having to be disciplined here. Remember, in the big picture, tires are important. You got to have that tire advantage at the end of this race.
And you better, like you said, Jared, if this thing was to go green for the rest of the way, you want to take care of your tires, but kind of in a hard predicament right now because you don't want to let Nate Maurer get too far ahead either. Okay, so Jared, let's say Nate Maurer was able to keep this lead, and if he does win this race, he would punch his way in. That would basically eliminate Alex McWhorter, which would be +7 above the cut line. But if Nate Maurer was to win, Alex would not be able to make his way in, and Mitch Diamond is basically the cut line right now. So only 2 points divide these two right now. Remember, Ty Killa, his car seems like it's a little hurt right now, so we'll also have to keep an eye on that situation as it progresses.
Yeah, and I'm looking here at our top 9. They have pitted 3 times, so done 3 pit stops and have 4 sets of tires, so they do have 1 more set of tires in the bank. And I did math just in case it happened, and if the trend continued and in 20 laps someone spun out and a yellow came out, 5 laps to go with a set of tires, I see these leaders coming in for those fresh Goodyear tires.
Something might have happened to Joseph Volpis. I show him as an off-track incident. Might have been a single car incident because he is way off the pace. P17 right now. He is 11 seconds back.
Now I'm gonna check here and see if I can see anything. I don't think I see anything here of what happened.
Let's try to find that Alex McWhorter car. And Alex McWhorter, he's not looking too good there, Jared. He's also running back in the back of the field with some of the modifieds back there. But his last lap was at 32:17, and the rest of the field is running 31 seconds. So not looking good for Joseph, but anything can happen. He just needs to stay on that lead lap and see if any attrition happens to the rest of this race. But we have quite a battle back in the middle of the pack, P5 or so, as the battle rages on. But Nate Maurer started to stretch that lead out. Just who knows how much tire he's burning up to increase that lead.
Yeah, I'm looking throughout all the field, trying to see if anything's happening. See a lot of single file racing in this big pack behind Jonathan Wright.
Yeah, and Mitch Diamond, he can't afford to lose any more spots. I mean, Alex McWhorter, he's only... Now they're tied. Yep. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're tied right now.
Alex doesn't really need to do too much, but Mitch can't afford to lose any more spots.
Well, Alex just needs to gain positions. The next car in front of him is Joe Volpes, who had that off track. So if Alex McWhorter can get in front of Joe Volpes, that will give the advantage to him.
And Mitch Diamond and Buddy Sally now battling it side by side. Buddy Sally isn't giving Mitch Diamond any quarter, any slack, as he looks like he's going to make that line stick and clear the 65. So definitely got to keep an eye on that. So Mitch Diamond, and Alex McWhorter, they're battling out to stay. Who's gonna, if Nate was to continue this lead and punch his ticket in, that's gonna eliminate either Alex McWhorter or Mitch Diamond at this moment. Good battle here between Sam Milliken and Jonathan Wright as now looks like Nate's gonna got some lap traffic to deal with. He gets by Fred Lester, no problem.
And I believe Fred Lester is a teammate of Nate Maurer. But he's just going to let Jonathan Wright go by.
He's down on the apron there, a little sketchy. Always getting down from the apron from a bank. He does a fine job getting out of the way. Jared, we're coming up 20 to go with the line. Things are starting to heat up. After Patrick to look at the 27. He's looking to be a spoiler right now as he's not letting go of that of Maurer at the time. I mean, I'm sorry, Patrick's on the back bumper right, but yeah, he's running good. He's got bigger plans ahead of him.
Yeah, their top three are all running. Top four actually running kind of the consistent lap time with each other.
Yeah, Jared, they are the fastest cars on the field right now.
As we hit 19 to go this time by.
And Alex McWhorter, Mitch Diamond, they were +8. Now it's +5 and +4. So their points are just diminishing, but you never know. Maybe not count out Joseph Volpes. You never know what's going to happen here. As Joseph Volpes is holding on to that spot over Alex McWhorter. They did just all pass Jake Lachey, so that gives them a little extra points. Oh, it looks like the team of Pim Loof decided to rip that front bumper off. Looks like that front bumper was getting in the way of that car. A little more, less aerodynamic, better cooling there, but...
Yeah. that last pit stop, I was down on pit road, saw that bumper hanging off by a bolt, and I just ripped that thing off when I put it in my toter home to bring it home.
Very good.
And
Jared.
my collection. So I don't think he's gonna need it. I don't think he'll miss it at this time. I hope he didn't notice that I took it, but.
Buddy Sally and the 65 of Mitch Diamond. Is Mitch Diamond starting to fight back? Gonna need to get that point, but there's Ty Killa right behind him also. But Mitch Diamond needs every point he can to claim back that lead he have over the points advantage over Alex McWhorter.
Yeah, he's got to hope that the 24 and the 21 race side by side for a long time. And Mitch Diamond does have that win this season, and he's got to hope that as 24 passes him, he's going to lose that point. But if there is a tie, the advantage would go to him. Oh, they made contact.
That would have been devastating for both drivers there, as they are both fighting for their lives, Jared. I love this little playoff tracker. It is definitely making this race more enjoyable. All right, Jared, I don't know, Jonathan's right, throwing down on a couple. That last lap was almost a tenth faster than the last lap Maurer ran, so he's definitely starting to pick up the pace on Maurer. 14 to go.
Yeah, and David Owens behind him have fresh tires and is way faster than these two. It's going to be interesting to see who he, if he gets these two racing side by side, who he's going to go with. Oh, and Jonathan Wright got really tight there out of the corners. It's going to cost him some time.
Yeah, it looks like he hugged that blue apron line a little too close, got a little too far underneath that apron. The 13 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the cutoff race. Going into round 8. These drivers are all 12 drivers trying to make it into that last group of 8 to go on to the second round.
3 points now separate Mitch Diamond and Joe Vulpes, as Joe's been making steady progress.
Jonathan Wright now starting to close that gap again, and Alex McWhorter is going to be lap traffic coming up for Nathan Maurer.
Yeah, he said he was going to stay high though, so he knows where to run. But Jonathan Wright's got to hope that he gets past him and is able to get his exit, but he's not able to slide all the way up.
Yeah, but he's still closing that gap, Jared. He was 0.37, dropped down to 0.19, and hanging right around there. It almost looks like David Owens is trying to give him a little bit of a push draft there, as they all single file. Now with another lap traffic car down low is in the apron. It's dangerous, that car slowing down like that on the apron. Hopefully he causes no problems, but he doesn't know what he's doing there. Great job there by that car getting out of the way.
Well, Alex McWhorter and David Owens are teammates, and that battle for Alex McWhorter on the cut line is close. So I think David Owens really wants to get this 04 car in front of Nate Maurer to lock his teammate into the next round.
And to keep another great competitor out, as, Jonathan Wright took a big dive to the left. Totally scrubbed a lot of time there off his lap time there.
9 to go as they hit the stripe. I don't think it will be enough. I don't see that big of a tire advantage. Nate Maurer's going to have to make a mistake. But the points keep trickling down for Mitch Diamond as he loses positions, now sitting outside of the top 10. Oh no, he's still in the top 10. But Joe Vulpes still steadily gaining points.
He's got Matt Oppinger in his sights now, and then after that, Tim Luth. But does he have enough time to make up those points? With only 8 to go, he's going to have to get everything out he can of that Geico military Ford Mustang. This is really turning out to be a great end of this race, Jared. Lots of different storylines happening. But can Owens push the 4 to around Nate Maurer? Or has Nate Maurer got enough to hold off the 04 and punch his way into the next round and shatter the dreams of either Mitch Diamond or Alex McWhorter? And
Nate Maurer split up there in the middle of the corner, and he's going to have a run here down the back straightaway. He's going to look to the top side, get to the outside quarter panel of the 971. Not going to be able to do it, but he's going to get the run out of the corner, try and pull a crossover as they hit the dog leg. Outside quarter panel going into 1.
Jared, if the 04 can get that high line to stick, it is the faster way around the track, I believe, but Nate Maurer shuts the door again. Okay, Joseph Volpus now looks like he's pulled even. He did pass Pin Luth and Matt Oppinger. He has tied.
They are
Mitch
tied.
Diamond.
Yeah, this is heating up. Mitch Diamond sitting below the cut line, but he has that win if these two stay tied as the 04 tries to make another run with 5 laps to go.
I think there's too big a gap for old Graham and Joseph Volpus. Volpus's next target would be Graham McGriven. That's over a 6-second lead, so I don't think that's going to happen within 5 laps. So Joseph did everything he can to make it. Only now this battle up front is going to be the one deciding the fate of the playoff drivers here. It does not look like Jonathan can figure out a way around Nate as Nate starts to bring that lead back out to 0.3.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any lap traffic in the way of these 3. I think Nate had that mistake when he slid up the racetrack and had that gap closed. But it's going to be 2 to go as they reach the stripe. 3 miles left to go.
And Joseph Volpus is 0.1 over Mitch Diamond, but it might be all for naught. As if Nate Maurer can rack this win in, that would punch out Joseph Volpus and send Nathan Maurer into the round and kick Joseph out. But what a valiant effort there by Joseph as he keeps picking off spots and gaining track position. But also keep an eye on Alex McWhorter, because if Alex McWhorter loses 2 more spots, that would send him into the cutoff section there.
White flag up in the air. 1 more to go for Nate Maurer to get into the playoffs. 2 more attempts for Jonathan Wright to try and get his teammate in if he's able to.
Big push coming from the 11 and the 4. They're going to need to do everything they can. Does not look like it's going to be enough.
Lengths as Jonathan Wright sends it tight out of exit, but out of 4. Nate Maurer with the advantage, races his way and wins his way in to the round of 8.
Congratulations to Nate Maurer for that great walk-off playoff round win as he punches his way into the round of 8. He'll be joining the other 7 drivers. And it looks like that's going to be David Owens, Nathan Maurer, Robert Richards, Jonathan Wright, Sam Milliken, Ty Killa, Matt Oppinger, and Alex McWhorter. As Alex McWhorter hangs on with a 2-point lead over Joseph Volpus. But remember, folks, this is all unofficial results. Remember that. It should be pretty close, though, but all unofficial results. But great job by everybody. unfortunate there for Mitch Diamond. Joseph Volpis, like I said, involved in some incidents earlier in the race. Definitely took him out of contention. But as the fireworks take off and shoot over Charlotte Motor Speedway, we congratulate Dave Maurer with that wonderful win there. Jared, what a race! And this is only the round one, Jared.
Yeah, if you thought this was intense, so the next 3 races, I think, to get into the top 4 is going to be even crazier.
Yeah, and then while we have this little bit of time here before we get any interviews, Jared, just want to say thanks again to AJ for providing us with this ticker. It really did bring the broadcast to life. Uh-oh, we got a car coming in hot. Pim, move, guys. All right. That's funny. But just a big shout out to AJ and Pim Lou for all the help, and the CAVOK Network and all the guys and gals that helped bring this together. And Jared, thank you for joining me here tonight on this beautiful Wednesday night. But as we get ready for interviews, Jared, why don't you take it away as I get some of this shit dialed up.
Well, it looks like Pim Lou's doing donuts at the front of pit lane, but it doesn't look like we have any drivers in here just yet. I think David Owens might be trying to get the points situated and official. Oh, it looks like Sam Milliken. We have Sam Milliken in the 17. Sam Milliken, what a race at Charlotte. We saw you in your OtterBox Chevrolet. You made it into the next round of the playoffs, 14 points above the cut line. What can you say about this crazy race today? Sam, you got a copy?
Try Sam again. Hey, Sam, you there, Sam? Nope, Sam's not there yet, Jared.
Alrighty. I guess I will, as he tries to fix those microphone issues, I'm going to go with the race winner, Nate Maurer, in the 971, raced his way in and won his way into the round of 8 after being in a must-win situation. Nate, what is the feelings you're feeling right now?
I didn't think I was gonna be able to hold off Jonathan there at the end. I know he's usually that would have been me and Joey Stiers, the past two seasons in here. But tonight, that Jonathan Wright, man, he was quick. He reminded me of Joey there. I thought he was gonna pounce on me there at the end, and I seen him coming. I had to switch my line going into 1 and 2. I kept on entering too high, and I finally started wrapping the bottom in 1 and 2, and I kind of started pulling away a little bit there, and just able to hold him off there at the end.
Well, once again, congratulations into making it the round of 8. Hopefully, you might feel a little bit relieved in this playoff run now that you don't see that 23 car in that playoff picture now.
Yeah, I think I finished second to him, and not just QRL, but in Bonfire multiple times. It's always Joey than me. So, wish Joe was here. I tried talking him into coming, but he's got woman obligations, so I guess the girlfriend comes first. But we're not gonna worry about Joey right now. Just keep on going here. Final few races.
Alrighty, and is there any shout outs you'd like to give before we move on to the next person?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my teammates here. Doug Neal, I guess he had a pop-up come up, so tonight was probably his final race on iRacing. He's selling his rig, so I was hoping for a good finish for him. Shout out to my teammates Tom Lester, and shout out to Robbie. I kind of asked him what should I do with Jonathan here on that last restart. I don't know if I should stay behind and kind of save tires or try going around them, and Robbie said go get that clean air, so I took him around on the outside and never looked back. So shout out to Robbie for helped me there making that decision, and hopefully we can keep the momentum going here between my team here this season.
Alrighty, best of luck to you as we do go to that second place car, Jonathan Wright. Jonathan, You tried so hard to try and get that lead to stop Nate from racing his way into the next round of the playoffs and try and hope that Mitch Diamond could kind of slide in after that early incident that he was involved in. But unfortunately, you came up short. How bad were your tires screaming there at the end?
Oh, my tires were good. I was really good on the bottom, but unfortunately, I decided to come off the bottom and shoot him up on the top the last few laps. So that was a dumb move on my part, but he ran good all night, so he deserved it. He earned it.
Well, you look good. You're in the next round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, your teammate Mitch Diamond won't be joining you there after a strong season for him. You got any plans for the next couple races? Try and get into that top 4 for your chance to win the trophy.
I would just like to win a race. I hadn't won over here yet. I've just been really consistent. So if I can win a race, that'd be nice. Whether it be to get in the next round or just win in general, even if I get eliminated, I just want to win a race.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say momentum is on your side, buddy. You were fast at Bristol when I raced with you last week on Thursday in these cars, and you got momentum coming your way. And I can hear the cheers of Victory Lane calling for you.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go put the pedal down next week wherever we're at. I even looked at the schedule and give them hell.
Well, any final shout outs for you, Jonathan, before we move on?
Yeah, David and Mitch and Opie, my teammates, they ran good all season. Sucks Mitch didn't make it, but just David for even letting me come be a part of this, and my wife too. She lets me get on here and race, and I spend time with her. So thanks to her.
Alrighty, the 04 of Jonathan Wright. As we move on to third place, Dave Kirkpatrick in the 27. Man, you were running up in those podium spots. That was awesome to see you running up there in the top 5, especially in the top 3. Tell me how your race went there, Dave.
It went pretty good. It felt really good. I've figured out so many ways to screw races up that I was waiting for something stupid to happen. It never did, so that was cool. But I thought I had a little something at the end, but tire management is not my strong suit. And obviously 971 and the 04, they got away. I think they picked up speed when the 11 got up there. He was like pushing them, it seemed like. But anyway, no, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Just stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, well, you did an amazing job and an amazing finish for you. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give before we move on to P5?
Just congrats to Nathan. It was a good race. Kind of followed him and just tried to learn a little off of him as he was going. But shout out to him and the 04 car as well. All
righty, the 27 of Dave Kirkpatrick. As we move to P5 in the number 99 car, who was leading laps at the start of this race, Robert Richards. Lost some positions, I think, coming to pit road, trying to get, I think, some damage repaired. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong, but crawled your way back up to a top 5 finish. Tell me, how'd your race go, man?
I guess I screwed myself more than anything. Then a lot of the laps, had control of it, and then screwed it up coming off 4. I hit a bumper on the apron or something, and it just shot towards the wall, and I pancaked the wall pretty hard, and it just lost everything I had. And with Nate and Jonathan on the long run, you couldn't beat them. They were good on the long run, so I knew it was going to hurt. And then when we got the caution there towards the end, I thought maybe I could get back up there and at least, do teammate stuff, I guess is the best way to put it. And but it didn't need to happen. So, congrats to Nate. Ran a good race. So, yeah, I mean, overall it was fun.
Well, we heard you congratulate your teammate Nick there. You got any other thank yous or shout outs you'd like to give?
I'm going to give it to Nate, Tom, Doug. Unfortunately, as Nate said, that Doug probably won't be iRacing anymore. So we'll get him into something. We'll figure something out for him to do to occupy his time where we can all still hang out and whatnot. But yep, that's about it.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it, guys.
99 car, Robert Richards. As we're going to try again for the 17, if he's still in here, Sam Milliken doesn't look like he's still in here. So we'll move on to the next person. And I believe that is Mitch Diamond in the 65, who finished P8, came up short. Joe Volpes was gaining positions there at the end of the race with people pitting. And it also didn't help that Nate Maurer won his way in. Mitch, it's got to be heartbreaking knowing that you were so close to getting into that round of 8 after getting the win this season, just to come up that short of getting into the next round.
Yeah, it just wasn't good enough. It was a good 3 races. It's fun. Had a little bad luck here and there and whatever, but all in all, still a good season. Still looking forward to finishing out.
Well, I gotta say, I think Kevin and I both are looking forward to Friday nights racing with you. We mentioned it multiple times on the broadcast about racing with you and some of the other guys that are part of Friday night and Thursday night. We're looking forward to it, and we love the uniqueness that your series has. We're looking forward to it.
Hell, yeah, man, I appreciate it. Anybody else that wants to join, man, go ahead and join on up. We'll get you in the race on Friday.
All righty, Mitch Diamond in the 65. Any final shout-outs from you?
Yeah, I just want to thank QRL, David, JD, and Opie. That was it's a really fun league to be a part of. That's for sure.
All righty, we appreciate that. I'm pretty sure David appreciates it too. As I see here, I'm gonna go to looks like Matt Opplinger in the 82 I think he got caught up in that second incident that Brandon Shelton started on the front straightaway. Huge incident on the front straightaway. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it through unscathed and was just playing catch up for the whole race. But before then, how'd your race go, man?
It was good until that happened, and then I got into it, but I only had like a minute or so of damage, so I was able to fix most of it, but it just wasn't the same after I got into that incident.
Well, you had a strong, good-looking race car all night long. You were part of that team with Mitch Diamond, and I believe it was Jonathan Wright as well. I think you also made it into the next round of the playoffs, so congratulations to you. Any plans for the next couple races to try and get into that top 4?
I'm just do the best I can and try to see if I get into the final 4. Give it another good run, another round. So.
All righty. Any final shout-outs to you for you and your team?
I just want to say thanks to David. This league is fun. Look forward to racing every Wednesday night. Shout out to my teammates, Mitch and JD. Sucks Mitch didn't make the playoffs, but he had a good season. We all had a good season.
All righty. Thank you, Matt. As we go to the 89 of Joe Volpes. Joe got caught up in that incident, thought your night was over, and you scraped your way so far up, but with Nate winning this race, you came up, I believe, short, but if Nate wouldn't have won, you would have been in the playoffs by 1 point. So good comeback for you. Unfortunately, you won't be making it into the next round of the playoffs, but anything you'd like to say to the viewers watching?
I mean, it sucks that after all that happened tonight there, honestly, the first wreck, we can circle back around that at the end, but on the last restart, I got my lap back and everything, and just complete driver error on my part, and I spun it down through the infield on the front stretch, and I just lost way too much time, and I clawed my way back up there to 11th by the end of the race. So I did all I could to try and get back in, and it just wasn't enough. But with that wreck there, we all just kind of stacked up. It was a huge wreck going into 1, and I got half spun off the track. I don't even think I had any damage. I got the car to stop right before the inner safer barrier, and I was sitting there, waiting for the caution to come out, waiting for everybody to go by. The caution was out for a little bit, and then out of nowhere, I got blindsided in the rear by somebody. I mean, I went back and looked at it. Some of these guys need to look. When the caution comes out, you can't be doing 160 going into a caution zone where there's a big wreck, because that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, I just don't understand. When the caution's out, you should be slowing up, not speeding up.
Yeah, well, it makes for great entertainment on this end, Joe. I do not envy where you were sitting during that time, but any final shout outs you want to give here as you make your exit from the playoffs?
Well, I want to give you a shout out, you and Kevin, for doing a great broadcast again, as usual. Duval, give him a shout out for the Geico paint scheme. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring it on to the next round, and give a shout out to David for running such a good series, and just gonna try and go out there and maybe get a win here in these last couple weeks. I know with Talladega next week, maybe try and go out play spoiler.
Alrighty, man. Looking forward to that show, that drafting and fuel mileage show at Talladega Super Speedway. We're looking forward to seeing you the rest of the season and seeing your progression on Tuesday nights. As we go over to the 15 of Alex McCorder. Alex, you were running so good and got loose, and then got loose again going into one and got into the infield grass. And I told Kevin that I was unfortunately you weren't able to replicate your favorite dirt car driver, Jared Kelly, and turn that wheel sideways and put the pedal to the floor. But how'd you finish 15th, man, for that 15 car? Unfortunately, one lap down, but I believe you are in the next round of the playoffs, so congratulations to you.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I think I made it just by maybe a couple of points, but man, yeah, I had a really fast car to start the race, and just just hops up coming out of 4 every time, and just caught the wall and almost ended the whole day right there, and ended up taking all the repairs in the first pit stop and ending up in the back, and I think it got punted a couple of times. Anyway, yeah, luckily was back far enough to miss that whole massive accident. I think I gained 7 spots on that, and I was kind of running behind Sam Milliken there, and just was able to feel like I was really lifting and coasting and still keeping with him, just trying to save tires, and ended up I think maybe 20 or so laps into the run, and I had a run on Sam, and I think Dave had a run on Robert, and we both took it, and I think he just got up into the wall, and both Sam and I just reacted. So it caused a little damage for him too, and I think I took the worst of it. But yeah, after that we were really just hoping for a quick caution and try to repair all the damage and see where it ended up. But overall, I guess happy to move on to the next round. Not a whole lot of great tracks for me, but we'll see if we can sneak one out here at Talladega.
Alrighty, we're looking forward to seeing you run out there, Alex, and hopefully you can make it into that top 4 and race your way for that great, beautiful trophy. I'm not sure what the trophy will look like this year, and I don't know if it's actually a trophy. I don't know if they do the same thing with BRL. I'd have to ask the man up in the box office.
I'm not sure what I'm doing. I think I might change it up, make it easier on me, but it'll be something that has to do with racing and your name on it. I can guarantee.
Hey, bragging rights would be more than enough for me. But yeah, shout out to you guys. You've been putting this on all year, and it's always been a joy to go back and watch it. And shout out to David and for putting this league on, and all the drivers in here. We have a lot of fun racing with a lot of these guys. So it's good to keep moving on in the playoffs, and yeah.
Alrighty, and now we're gonna go over to the driver of the number 11, who just showed up randomly at the end of this race. Didn't see him at all at the beginning of this race. Went down. I mean, we saw him spin and lose a lot of talent there at the beginning of this race. But David Owens, you were already locked in, so it's not like this race mattered to you, anyways. But man, were you just playing? Were you just having fun today?
I let my 12-year-old drive.
A good excuse.
No, I just running that high side, and I just pushed it too soon. Coming out of 4 there, I just rookie mistake on cold tires, lap 1, and got to the gas a lot sooner than I should have, and trying to lead that lap, and I thought Peter had a penalty, so I was like, oh, and it ended up that he did, and I probably should have just taken it easy because he would have pitted the next lap, and I would have gotten out of there doing what I needed to do, and I was just, like I said, being a rookie right there. But other than that, I just cruised around, just hoping for a little bit more cautions than normal, and go figure, the one race that didn't happen for me. So other than that, it was fun hearing the battles and everything, and I didn't want to get too involved up front with those two leaders battling there at the end, so I just decided to race right there behind them.
All right, I'm gonna guess one of those guys running up front really wanted you to get involved, but I won't go there. And I'm gonna try and play a little bit of a magic that I have here in the QRL server. I'm gonna drag somebody in that's not in the booth and see if he's willing to talk. Hey, Pim, you willing to talk for the broadcast? Are you here? Doesn't sound like he's here.
I think he's repairing his car. David, look like you're almost racing in the Roval, the Charlotte Roval. You forgot what track you're on, trying to take that chicane there off of turn one.
I sure did. I sure did. Man, and I had it saved at one point. I really did, and I was like, nope.
Yeah,
never
just
mind.
too much speed going in there, and then like once you came off the turf, it was too late. But no, good racing, man. That was a good race.
Alrighty, and I guess we'll go over to our race control. Jax Duval, you have anything you'd like to say to the viewers here?
Great race. The guys put on a great show, and thank you for making my job easy.
Alrighty. Well, you heard it there from the man with the big red button.
Yeah, I could have used that big red button tonight, but he don't play favorites. That's why I picked him.
Well, it looks like that's the end of all our driver interviews, Kevin. I'm going to throw it back up to you. I am tired, and I am ready to hit the holler and go home.
Yeah, 10-4, Jared. I can say I'm right there with you, man. But hey, thank you for everyone that tuned in, stayed with us for the whole race. Like I said, we can't do without you guys driving in the races and your guys' viewership. And to all the fans out there, we'll be back next Wednesday for our second round of 8 to get into the championship 4. And just want to say thank you to everyone for watching once again. Check out Pim and Charlie on Monday nights with the Alpha Touring Cars series. And then I think we have Sunday night Skippy and all our other programming at CAVOK Network. And once again, just God bless everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday, and have a good night. Thank you.